Hey everybody, welcome back to CanHammer, your source for 40k from the Great White North. Sorry, I'll point my finger at the camera. I'm here with Phil.
What's up?
You may know Phil from such films as Tyranids Bite It 1 and Tyranids Bite It 2.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't film that one. Yeah, but there was a Tyranids Bite It 3 yesterday.
Yeah, there was a Tyranids Bite It 3, which didn't make it to video. But, yeah. So, we're here at our traditional pre-tournament McDonald's. Right next to multi-zone. It's P&P 9, Powerfist and Psykers 9. We're going to go over there in a second. So this, as usual, is a 2,000 point match play tournament using mostly rulebook, ETC FAQ, and any GW official FAQs. Using up to and including the Tyranid Codex. Nothing's come out since, anyway. And I think we have 23 or 24 players today, so it's our biggest P&P ever, which is awesome. I might even get to play, so it depends on how many people turn up. I'm kind of TO, scary as that is. Don't ask me any questions. But don't even ask me to do math, in fact. So yeah, so it should be fun. I'm running the Astra Militarum list that people have seen me working on frantically the last 2 weeks, like painting like a crazy person. And with a few tweaks since last game against Phil. Phil, what are you running today?
Tyranids.
And you spent all last night listing.
Yeah, and I just found out that Jeremy can't bring me the extra Biovore.
Oh.
So I have one missing Biovore. I'll be 35 points short for my...
35 points short. It's like, hey, you should get a Triumph.
I should, yeah. So...
Okay, so Phil's bringing Tyranids. Today we expect some more Tyranids, orcs, lots of demons. Zach's, 400 gun drone list. I don't know if anyone else playing guard, probably, but anyway, I'm bringing guard if I get to play. I think Chris is bringing like 10 demon princes, something crazy like that. So yeah, so it should be fun. And so I'm TOing. If I end up playing, you're gonna get your usual tournament report, like free game report with interviews. If I don't end up playing, I'm gonna try and film games as we go, if I can. What my new idea now is, I have two cameras, right? Is I'm gonna have my old video camera available as a pick it up and film, like at weddings, when they put like cameras on the tables and get you to take whatever pictures you want. This is gonna be the same thing. We're gonna tell people if they want to film something, pick it up, film something, film their game, film conversation. Obviously gonna edit out the crappy shit, but yeah, so we'll see what kind of footage comes from that. It's an interesting concept. So hopefully it's gonna be fun. We're gonna come back when we get to multi-zone. Hey everybody, Darren here. We're gonna go into multi-zone now. Ben, thanks for opening up on time this time.
No problem.
Alright, here we go. The usual suspects. Say hi to the people, Jamie.
Go away. Where'd you put my army?
Ron, you made it? Over there.
I'm not working for you guys anymore, remember? I'm fired.
You never were, I don't believe. So we got, most people have turned up so far.
You don't invite me onto the cast, so that's your problem.
We got a lot of people helped us set up. We're missing a few mats in terrain, unfortunately, due to communication issues, but it's going to be okay. Chris is here. Stole his wife's car. I'm looking for the van. I'm like, where's the van?
Well, my wife hit into like a cement barrier, so I had to get it
fixed.
The
van got...
the element. So my wife's in the States for Thanksgiving, so I had to get the element fixed this week. That's why I'm
okay. Ryan's out. Hi, Ryan.
Worst car ever. Element.
Cool. Jeremy's new Tyranids. Looking good, sir. Slightly less gene stealers.
No jeans.
Cool. Got some marine action. Good morning. I'm not even going to show Zach's army. It's too obnoxious. Jay?
Hello.
Yanari / Craft World?
Just Craft World.
Oh, Jay, I feel for you, man. But at least you got one less shot in against Phil.
Real people still play Yanari. Real people.
Alright, we got some decent tables set up considering what just happened. So, and we got Craft World.
Yanari.
Yanari, pure?
No, come on. I'm Principal Yanari.
You're playing out of principle. Good man.
1049 Yanari.
Good man.
The rest is
No, I like that. I could have played my Shadow Sword as Vestroyan just for fun, but...
Oh, come
Catachin 188. You won't get close enough. All right, here we go. Eric's here with this demon army. All right. Hey, I like this board. That's cool. Canicus, and this is like an old school, whatever that formation was called. What was the formation called with the knight and Admech? Can't remember now. War Convocation.
It's not even close to a war con. Not even close.
All right, demons.
They're not set up.
Oh yeah?
Phil's. No, Jamie. All right, Necrons and Grey Knights and a Logan sighting. What? Bringing the salt back.
Sorry.
All right, I knew you couldn't stay away, man. Jeez. Okay, we're gonna get everybody registered and get this shit on the road. And if I get to play, then you'll see my game. If I don't get to play, then you're gonna see someone else's game. All right, my first game is against Marc-Andre, and he's still hanging on to the Ynnari. Désolé, as they say in Quebec. But no, he's got Craft World and Ynnari.
I do have 1,000 suns.
Yeah. So he's running some Wraithguard with sides, Void Raven, some Reapers, some Guardians, one of these crazy flyers, a Wave Serpent, some Dire Avengers or Guardians, I guess. A Brain, big unit of Dark Reapers there. It's a Spearhead deployment. It's Contact Lost, and one of the other Maelstrom. Oh my God, Ron's using drop pods. There we go.
Sorry. I have to edit that out.
And then,
I thought those were things.
so that's his deployment. Here's my deployment. I've attached up to the line. He's got dropping fire dragons, so I deployed my big guy back there, and kind of just kept the line up. I get to go first, and so we're gonna come back and see how it goes. End of Astra Militarum turn 1. I scored Supremacy, control 3 objectives, and I basically killed all the Dark Reapers and took the Wave Serpent down to 1 left, unfortunately just 1, and it killed a couple of Guardians. And that's it, so we're going on to Eldar turn 1. Alright, end of Eldar turn 1, killed 2 Sentinels and a few infantry and took a wound off Manticore, and that's it actually, eh? Yeah, you didn't roll that well. Okay, so we'll go on to Astra Militarum turn 2. Did you score anything in your first turn?
Is there anything within 6 inches of the center?
Yeah, you gotta measure this thorax.
Yeah. This thorax, the center is right there, right?
Yeah.
So
Probably out, right?
Yeah, he's on the corner.
Oh, I'm on the corner?
Yeah.
Okay.
So nothing on turn 1, and I'm gonna discard that.
Okay, we're going on to turn 2 for Astra Militarum. Catachan Lucky 188. Alright, end of Astra Militarum turn 2.
Which is under that thorax.
And in my turn 2, I scored a bunch of points. I killed all those Rangers, damaged the wing dude. I almost killed this Brightland squad. I took out this squad. I killed 4 of the Wraiths and the Wave Serpent. I killed a bunch this turn. Okay, so we're going to turn 2 for Eldar. All right.
One squad, right?
Yeah, we're running out of time here, so we're going to just take one more at the bottom of 3. Killed the Fire Dragons, killed the Wing Dude. Couldn't quite kill that squad there. And my guys couldn't kill the Solitaire. And it's here, so that's where we're at right now. And so this is going to be the end of the game after this. Alright, my game ended here with Marc-Andre. I won 13-7 on differential. So he ended up scoring 4 objectives in the end on that last turn. Really pushed me off, which was good. Some Ynnari shenanigans really helping out with that.
What's left of them?
Yeah, no, it was a good game. We only went to bottom of 3, unfortunately. So I think if it went to 5, I probably would have tabled you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But you know,
sure.
That's how it rolls these days.
Hey guys, so my thoughts on that first game. Unfortunately, I guess both of us were playing a little bit slow. It was our first game. I was filming a little bit more than maybe I should have, and we only ended up going to turn 4. But I think it would have been over by the end of turn 4. You only had 3, 4, 5 models left, and most of my army was still alive. Saying that, in his last turn, he made a push and got me off 4 objectives. And with some Ynnari shenanigans, managed to secure those 4 objectives. So he really pushed the differential up to 13-7. I got first turn. I got first turn in all 3 games, despite having 26 drops this tournament, so it was pretty good. Got seized on once in the second game, as you'll see, but no spoilers. But I managed to kill all the Dark Reapers in the first turn. I knew that was a big threat to my vehicles. So I just nailed them down first turn. Then I wanted to get rid of the... I managed to take his Wave Serpent down to 1 wound left on the first turn. And then on the second turn I dropped down my command squads and killed a bunch of the Wraith Guard. And basically kept the Solitaire back there. And the person who was in the character that was with the Wraith Guard, I kept that whole... quarter of his army occupied for the whole game with some command squad. And I found actually the command squad is very good for that. They will kill something when they come in, and then they have to devote power and time to taking care of them, or else they'll kill something else. So command squad, big thumbs up for this tournament so far. But yeah, and then the rest of that was just shooting. And in fact, I forgot to shoot my Manticores for 2 turns. I forgot to shoot the Manticores 2 times, and it would have been over before that if I had remembered. I don't know why I was so concentrated on not forgetting my stratagems, which I didn't. I didn't forget any stratagems this tournament, but I forgot to shoot my Manticores twice in that game. So I won that 113-7, pretty happy on that first win. Would have liked it to be a little bit more convincing, but it ended up as a win, so I was happy with that to start the day.
Let's see what else is going on.
We're talking.
Did you guys play each other?
No.
No? What'd you guys, how'd your game go, Phil?
Both respectively got our asses kicked. Yeah.
Who did you end up playing, Phil?
Cleared.
And he was playing what?
Magnus and Mortarion together.
Okay.
They skipped.
You got to be ready for that list.
I was not ready for that. He hit me, and then I just died. Two turns and we called it.
Yeah, that's pretty much a guaranteed in every tournament. One person's going to do that.
Yeah. So I had never played against either of those guys before, so I was like, well, okay, that's what they do.
All right. How about you?
And that was my first game against AdMech, and I got Castellan to death.
You got what?
Castellan?
Castellan robots.
Oh, okay, robots. 6 robots, 9 robots, 6? Yeah. 6 is enough. Yeah, no, robots are strong. Yeah, and then you try and shoot them and it just ends up killing yourself. Because the reflection of the mortals. All right, cool. Cool, let's see what else is going on. Heading over here. Jamie against Ron, this matchup of the century. Ron's still rocking the drop pods. Oh, and the kill shot stratagem flying probably. Alright. Never mind this board. This board sucks. You wanna have this game go? Is he playing that? All Demon Princes, Mortarion and Magnus. Yep. Okay, character shenanigans. Alright, this game was Robot 1. How'd it go, Dieter?
I got tabled.
4 nights is tough these days.
Low model card armies are always.
Yeah, 4 nights is tough.
Yeah,
but your knights look awesome though.
But man of the match.
Eversur says.
Oh yeah, kill the tank.
Dude, when Sly Marble comes out, he better have stats like an Eversur assassin. That would be awesome. All right, this game I don't know what happened here. Eric against Zach. How'd your game go, guys?
To be honest, it felt close, but the differential really played in my favor.
Okay.
He had all the objectives.
Okay. How many points did you score?
2.
Oh, okay. How'd it go, Jeremy?
I won.
High Fleet Mitchell?
Against Eldar.
Against Eldar?
I was able to bubble wrap horse here at the end, so he couldn't fall back, and that saved everything on his objectives.
Nice. Okay, so you like your new configuration?
Yeah, it's a lot more personal.
A lot more
midfield, like more forward.
Okay.
Just as good.
Team Stealer's just like go forward. Yeah. Although the new infestation thing is interesting, but I don't think that really happens that often that it becomes useful. Sean, how'd it go?
Pretty good. Crispy my butt.
You're over here.
With all the objectives secure.
Brimstones?
Brimstones OG.
Yeah.
Could not pass through the line.
Yeah. Okay, what are you playing these days anyway?
Pretty casualist.
What's that?
We got a Wreath Knight and a Crimson Hunter.
Oh, that's a Crimson Hunter? Okay.
Yeah. I just need a model that looks different from the...
Okay, and Chris is playing like 10 Demon Princes or something, right?
Yeah, well, 6, but yeah, close enough.
Alright, this is Phil's game. He wasn't quite ready for Magnus and Mortarion. If you're not ready for it, it's gonna table you. Alright, cool. I think it's lunchtime. No, it's the second game? Alright. Okay, we'll see what the matchup is. Alright, game 2, I'm playing against Ron. Woohoo! And it's Space Marines Iron Hands versus Catechins. I've set up on Vanguard Strike in this corner here. The objectives are as you see here, mostly across the middle. And he's just setting up some scouts, and he's got some drop pods. Drop pod sighting!
And grab cannons.
And grab cannons. What? Not gonna help you against my guys, but and 4 predators. So there we go. Gonna see some kill shot stratagems. So we're just setting up. We're gonna see who goes first when he's finished with his scout.
Where's your character?
There's an astropath right here. Harker's here, and then Company Commander and all the astropaths are back there. Here we go. 5. All right, I go first. Okay, I'm taking first turn. So here we go. Astro Militarum turn 1. All right, and he sees. I forgot about sees. All right, Iron Hand's going first.
Oh yeah.
Turn 1, Astro Militarum.
66.
So the Seas killed Sentinels, 1 Sentinel, and took my Shadow Sword down to 13. So semi-disable my Shadow Sword on turn 1, and that's about it. And then in return, I killed almost all these scouts. I killed 3 predators, and one is that one was wounded, I think.
Yeah, it's got 1 wound left.
Oh, it's got 1 wound left. I killed a whole bunch of scouts, and that's it. So good first turn for Astro Militarum. On to turn 2. All right, my own game ended up with a 20-0 tabling against Ron.
Game 2 with Reggie. So game 2 was against Ron. Ron was playing a drop pod list, 2 drop pods with Grav Devastators, a captain who he changed into a chapter master, a lieutenant, and then 4 predators, of which one had 4 las cannons, the other had las cannons each, and then auto cannons and heavy bolters. So not a super optimized marine list, but certainly a lot of firepower to put the hurt on me. So it was Vanguard Strike. I set up behind it. There was no line of sight blocking terrain, so I had to hold for first turn, and I did get first turn, but then he seized. So I thought, okay, my Shadow Sword will either survive or not. And if it doesn't, I'm in good shape. If it does, I'm in good shape. If it doesn't, I'm not as in good shape. My army had worked extremely well this whole tournament by denying deep strike. So with the 3 Sentinels going up with an 18-inch radius of deep strike denial, I managed to push all my deep strikers almost into their own zone on all the games where it mattered. So against Ron it mattered, and on the last game it mattered. So that was really, really effective. But so first turn he decided not to drop anything in because it would have been in his own. He wouldn't be able to shoot at much with his graph. It's short range, 24-inch. So he tried his hardest to take out the Shadow Sword. I bossed a lot of 5-up and 6-up saves. The +1 save stratagem on shooting is gold dust. To have a 2+ save makes a huge difference for a thing like that. So it was alive and at 16 or 17 wounds, so it wasn't degraded yet. And then in my first turn I took out 3 predators. He had used some scouts to block me, but he had moved the scouts in his turn, so that gave me space behind the scouts and beside the predators to drop my command squad. And the command squad killed 1 predator and kind of half killed another. It did really well. And then the Shadow Sword and the Manticores took out 2 other predators. So by the end of it, he had 1 predator that had an autocannon and heavy bolters, so he lost all his last cannons. So and he's put his plasma cannons on the far side of the field, so they spent the whole game just shooting at infantry squads. So I was glad I didn't have to deal with the plasma cannons. Torok Gatlings really take care of Marines. Manticores take care of Marines. 18-shot heavy bolters from the Shadow Sword takes care of Marines. Some smiting action going on, and a +1 save and -1 to hit making a big difference in this game. And eventually just ended up killing everything. Actually, we went to the end of the game, and I think he had 2 characters alive at the end of the game that I couldn't kill because I couldn't target them, which is kind of silly, and I hope they change the character rules a little bit, but apparently they will. So second game ended up a 20-0 victory for me, so that was good. So when eventually he dropped his drop pods in on turn 2, he had to drop them in his own zone beside where his chapter master was. The range on those was not as effective, and he didn't end up killing too much with those things, just infantry and stuff. So it was a good game for my army.
Chris and Eric are still going here. Looks like a hardcore kind of game. The Battle of the Ages, 200 drones against Eldar, still going. Somehow there's like, oh sorry, I thought that was an Eldar dude in there. I'm like, how did that dude get in?
He had his Wraith Knight right here.
Oh, Wraith Knight, okay. Matt and Jay still going?
Yep.
High Fleet Mitchell and Rade, the Chaos Master, still going?
It's been brutal.
What's that? Tyrannofex?
Oh yeah. It's been crazy brutal.
Crazy brutal?
He killed most of that stuff turn 1, and I killed all his...
What are you running, Rade?
Alpha Legion Berserkers.
Oh, Alpha Legion Berserkers. Nice, nice. Okay, that's some flavorful shit. And up here, how did Death Guard do?
1-by-1 victory.
I love your paint job, by the way. It's awesome.
Yeah, no,
to be honest, I think that looks better than the GW style.
They do.
Just too cartoony.
Yeah, but no, it was ended on turn 7, 1 victory point difference, 17 to 16. So
nice, nice, nice. So you didn't suffer the robot death fate.
Oh no, we suffered each other.
This is Jamie's death pile. Death pile. Still going. Battle Wars. Ryan still got a lot of Marines alive.
Nothing.
It's not. Oh no.
Andre, Flyer's still alive.
Revenge of the Yanari.
Revenge of the Yanari. Revenge against GW. And Phil's still going.
He's again.
I don't see a lot of Tyranids on stage.
They're slowly whittling down.
What are you playing, Dark Angels?
These are actually Ultramarines. Don't worry about the color scheme, but Gilliman right there, he just
Sure.
He's doing what he does.
Okay. All right, cool. Let's go see what's going on here. Let's see what else is going on. How'd it go, Dieter? Did you win?
No. I got the dice gods were against me this time, but badly. Notice how there's a lot of zeros in my column. It went badly, but it was a good game.
Cool. Oh, that's UGO people. Screw that. All right, it's lunch break right now, so we'll come back after lunch. All right, so far for me, it's 2 wins, 13-7 and 20-0. Chris, what you been doing so far?
18-2 round 1, and then round 2 I took a beating.
You did?
And it was 13-7 for him.
Okay.
Chaos
okay.
on chaos. My Havoc actually
chaos
murdered. I went like, oh, flak missiles, and I killed Magnus
Havocs.
in 2 turns. I'm like, oh, I'll do a bunch of wounds, and then I rolled the next round. I hit with all 4, and I did 5s and 6s times 4, which is 12 wounds to him in 1 round of Havocs. It was so good. Those flak missiles are great. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
Havocs, eh?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That food.
How's your day been going, Ryan?
Really good. First game was 55 win for me. Playing against some demons, or some chaos with demons. So they had an alpha strike, and I had an alpha strike behind them. So that was a pretty good one. Second one was against Tyrannid Swarm, and it was a real problem.
Yeah?
The bloodbath went down for a 5-15 loss for me.
Okay.
You want 7 up?
Cool, and you're playing Imperial Fist and Grey Knights, eh?
Correct, yeah.
Nice combination.
Yeah, well, we kind of figured how the fists are
This is
like
the gun line.
yeah, elite storm bolters are great, like the combat elements, and then the fists are basically just casting up in the corner.
Are you running Grandmaster Dread Knight? You are, eh? Are they performing?
Yes, they are amazing.
Cool. Oliver, how have you been doing?
For the people.
The first game I got curb stomp, and then the second game I was doing curb stomp on myself.
Okay, and what are you playing today?
0-20 the first game and 20-0 the second game.
What are you playing today?
Space Marines, Ultramarines.
Ultramarines. Okay.
You mean Storm Ravens?
So are you running Bobby G?
No, not even.
No? Okay.
But Storm
Ultramarine, no Bobby G? What?
Craziness.
Craziness. Never even heard of that before. Well, Bobby G's going up to almost 300, not quite. No, 400. And Super Chicken's going up to 1,500! Boom!
He's been eliminated from the game, basically.
That's like, so how can we fix Super Chicken? Oh, I know. Let's just make him 1,500 points.
So we were talking, Max and I, and we were like, I think it was at Quebec City, and we were like, oh, you know, he's worth 700 points, but he's not amazing. Like, let's be honest, if they made him like 800, maybe you'd still take him. 900, he's getting 1,500, you might as well stomp on him and run him over with your car.
Is that what you're going to do?
No, because mine's real Forge World, and I put a lot of work into him. He's not done, but
yeah,
I'm never going to finish him probably.
It seemed like they really made the Forge World big stuff like meant for Apocalypse.
I think they just actually wanted to take
it out of the game,
competitive play,
without banning it.
You don't have to use it for match play. They just want to take it out of match play.
Yeah, without having to say it's banned.
Yeah.
Because they're messing with Forge World stuff for the first time, I think. And so they don't want to be like, oh, this shit sucks, it's banned.
I agree.
So they'd be like, okay, no problem, we'll just make it ridiculously expensive. Even the Mastodon, I'm so upset about that.
I'm so happy.
So upset about that. It never hurt a fly, it's a transport. 934 points. Give me a break. Okay. Hey, Phil.
What?
How are you doing today?
Getting killed. Getting creamed.
So the Tyranids aren't top tier?
Nope.
They're an OP?
Nope. They are very much not. I think they could be if all the top tier weren't around. So.
If there was no other top tier,
the
Tyranids would be top tier.
Do you have the Swarmlord or Gene Stealers?
No.
I offered to lend them on 20 Gene Stealers.
All that. I've used them so many times.
Pod, Gene Stealers, put them in turn 1, kill an army.
No, because you'll bubble wrap and you're.
Well, Jeremy gave up his Gene Stealers. He was running 2 units of Gene Stealers. Now he does not run them.
Didn't work because they get shut off too quickly. We've experienced it at CBBB.
Oh yeah, they all get killed.
List. I mean, the Hive Guard is still alright, but there's so many other better things that are cheaper than Hive Guard. So if you shoot them twice, I've used it a few times to shoot them twice, but they still hit on whatever, and then people save them. So yeah, it's just not like 4-up invul is nice, but it's not a 3-up invul.
So I have an announcement to make. Darren's on the top table last round.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Shit. Pressure. I'm gonna forget all my stratagems.
I think it's awesome. I'm like, good for you, Darren. I hope you push somebody's models off.
Well, my first game I forgot.
I was gonna say something.
My first game I forgot to shoot the Manticore for 2 turns.
Yeah, but that's not bad because it only shoots 4 times anyway. So it's not like you lost shots.
No, but usually I don't need them anymore by the 5th turn.
Because you just table people.
I got so that game versus Ron, he hit me with the 4 predators and the whatever kill shot stratagem. I bossed 6-up saves.
Oh.
He still got me down to 14. He took me down to half, but I would have probably exploded. And then I one-shot his predator. It exploded and did 3 mortal wounds to everybody around him. And then I killed 3 more predators in the first turn, so it was kind of over. And then my sentinels pushed his drop pods into his own zone. So
I love how you're filming me while you talk.
Well, I don't like filming myself with this thing.
Can I hold it? It looks like a
Are they on the same though?
Yeah. What is it? It's not called Mega Man. Alright, final game against Kevin. Kevin's running an interesting list of Cadians and Grey Knights. He's got a Storm Raven, a couple of battle tanks with tank commanders, a couple of Dread Knights, one's a Grand Master, and some strike squads and interceptors, and some guardsmen. So that's interesting. We got Dawn of War deployment. He's setting up and I'm setting up, and we're playing big guns and tactical escalation. So it should be a good game. We'll come back at the end. Alright, turn 1 Astra Militarum. It was a brutal turn. Killed the Storm Raven, combination of Plasma, and Big Bertha did 16 damage. Yeah. Manticores did a number of that, tank commander, and a few wounds off of that one. Killed these guardsmen. 1 guy left. Marky Mark, brave soldier. And no Grey Knights coming in yet. But hopefully I've pushed them back far enough. So we'll go on. Rest of the game. Alright, end of game 3, and I beat Kevin with the tabling there. Well, he called the game, but it would have been, I guess. Yeah, I guess the matchup was not good for you. I mean, your deep strikers weren't doing anything, and board denial is strong.
I was almost deep striking my own deployment zone.
Yeah, that was the point, especially in the Dawn of War.
Yeah.
I can push you to one corner. Yeah.
had him deep strike, that would have been tabled in turn 1. Turn 2.
Yeah. And, you know, you lost your Storm Raven too, which is obviously a big part. All right, cool. So, I think I did pretty well today. I have 53 points, a decent painting score, so I guess we'll see what happens. Thanks for the game, Kevin. I'm going to see what else is going on here.
Okay, so the third and final game, I was doing pretty well on battle points. I didn't end up on at the top, but I was close to the top, second or third table. Anyway, so I was playing against Kevin. Kevin was bringing an interesting list of Grey Knights with a Grandmaster Dread Knight, a normal Dread Knight, a Storm Raven, a Terminator squad with Valdis, and an Interceptor or a Strike squad. Anyway, Interceptor squad, I think. And then he had a guard detachment, 3 units of 10 infantry, like mine with the plasma gun, and then he had 2 tank commanders with battle cannons, plasma cannons, and a las cannon. Yeah, I think that was his list. So again, it was Dawn of War deployment, so range was not going to matter. There was hardly any line of sight blocking stuff on the table. So I wanted to get first turn, and it might be game over. If not, he would put in a pretty good strike against me with the Storm Raven and the battle cannons, and I might be a little bit of trouble. I wasn't worried too much about the Grey Knights because they were all in deep strike. So again, with my deployment, my infantry, and my scouting sentinels, I pushed the Grey Knights deep strike almost right back into his own zone. So I knew that they weren't going to be smiting me, and that they were just going to be hitting infantry walls. So really I was just worried about the 2 battle cannons and the Storm Raven. So I got first turn. The command squad dropped down, almost took out the did like 6 or 7 wounds without overcharge to the Storm Raven. I decided with the -1 to hit I didn't want to lose anybody, but with 16 shots I thought I could do at least 6 or 7 wounds to it, which I did. And then Big Bertha on the Shadow Sword just lit it up for 16-17 damage, and the Storm Raven was gone. And then Manticores and the las cannons on the Shadow Sword and other firepower took one Limambrus, one tank commander down to 1 wound left, so basically disabled, and the other one only 3 wounds. So it's pretty good. And then in his first turn, he decided he had to bring his Grey Knights in, or else next turn he was getting tabled. It was not ideal because he, as I said, his interceptors had the deep strike way on the other side of the table, and then his Dread Knight and Grandmaster had the deep strike in his, basically almost in his own deployment zone. So and then similarly the Terminators had the deep strike almost in his own zone with Valdis there. Anyway, so I got them tied up with infantry. They spent a lot of time just killing infantry. You know, Grey Knights don't have anti-tank weapons. You know, the Psy Cannons are not going to do much damage to a 2+ or 1+ save Shadow Sword. So it just wasn't working for them. And then eventually I put my Shadow Sword into combat and doing damage, and there wasn't much they can do. Just massed Gatling fire takes the Terminators down. Even with the 2+ save, you're gonna fail 1-ups. And then the command squad survived, and Plasmas were doing a number on them. Almost killed Volus in Overwatch with a heavy flamer on the Sentinel. And yeah, and then so by turn 3, or maybe bottom of turn 3, Kevin decided to call it because he didn't have much left and there was no chance of winning there. So that was another 20-0 victory for me. So I went 13-7, 20-0, and 20-0. Happy with game 3.
Are you videotaping?
Yeah.
I noticed you didn't videotape any of our games.
I did.
You did only videotape the first turn, but after that, that's when you were
Yeah, I just stopped
really started to cheat.
Alright, so this game is ongoing. It looks like there's at least 80 drones still. It's a lot of drones. I'm being summoned. Alright, most kind of games are finishing up. We got Jay playing Brian. Still going, it seems.
Well, I was lucky that I met my wife.
This is Admech versus Chris.
Like I was already
Robots on top of the building?
like every one. Yeah. So when we met, it was part of the contract.
Oh yeah, no, mine's
To guarantee that every one.
Ryan's playing Ready, and he's been filming it, so you're going to see this on the channel.
Unless it's awful, then it doesn't.
Unless it's awful, I'm just going to just delete it. Marco Dre playing Will. Oh, there's not a lot left on this table.
That's the target this guy.
Oh! Necrons and Chaos. And Theory versus
Just one. That's frustrating.
Still going. See a lot left in Chaos.
My power sword die on that unit.
I think we all want to.
Come down here to me.
So Ron, did you table Phil?
I did. I did.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel good. I remembered my 100 killer missiles. You know, those things that are awesome.
That you pay 5 points for?
6 points. And
6
actually
points?
do stuff.
6? Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. There it goes. So did you win, Zach? All right. How many drones did he manage to kill?
He killed 34 on his first turn.
34 on his first turn.
Which is more than anyone else
Impressive.
killed this tournament.
How many did he kill in total?
Like 50.
And you still had like 50 left.
Yeah. Well, once his 2 strong reapers go down, that's
it. Yeah, it's tough to kill that many drones. All right, award ceremony.
Okay, so we like to do something for everybody.
Yes.
Everybody that takes part in the tournament that does not win an award gets a $10 gift card for the store, and you also get 15% off, of course, of the store. So that's like basically half your entrance fee back. You have to spend it here. So we're going to start off with the award that I liked the most because the person that got the least battle points.
Best sport.
So now the person that got the least battle points won a better award. So the second lowest battle points goes to Phil.
Hey! Now you can keep track of all those stratagems.
So he gets the stratagem dice and $10 gift card.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's cool.
What? You can thank me for getting the didn't bounce back though.
Okay, next is we had you guys vote for who you thought was the best painted army. So this person had a runaway time with it. And it goes to Dieter.
Who
was the tie? It's a hat trick. Will you get 3 of those? Next thing is we like to give everybody an award for what faction they play in. So we have an award for basically the best generalship for each of the major 3 factions: Xenos, Chaos, and Imperium. So Inari's not a real faction; they're Xenos.
Wow.
So basically, the best Chaos player goes to Eric Dion.
My Primarch 6 price.
That's his best Chaos one, right? Yes. Okay.
Are you giving the right certificates, Chris?
Yes, I'm giving the right certificates, Darren.
Okay.
Thanks, Mother. Thanks, Mother.
Way to
micromanage. And actually, surprisingly, the best Imperial general of today was playing Green Knights. Goes to Kevin Nadler. And that leaves best Xenos general. So this one, it's actually kind of funny because we had to go down quite a ways, but the best one with his towel goes to Zach. Oh! Because the Yodari didn't do so well. Okay.
They suck so much dick. Like
Now, in an absolute shock, I'm actually stunned and a little scared right now to give this. The best general award goes to Darren.
Oh my God!
Rigged! Rigged! What a cheater! so
want to participate.
No, you guys allowed him to do that. That's all of you.
You didn't let me play him.
Oh, you?
More sixes than
Actually, another shocker. His best overall with his Tyranids goes to Jeremy Mitchell.
So I won. Best general. Sweet. I missed out on best overall by like 0.4 because my painting was not as good as Jeremy's. Jeremy's a beautiful army, but I scored the highest battle points, and I'm very happy about that. My army performed super well. The little changes to the list I think were good. I think getting rid of the mortars and putting in the last cannon teams was a big improvement. The last cannons maybe, I don't know, they didn't do that much, but I think they were more of a threat. People actually shot at them. And so I think that was a good change. The other thing is getting rid of one Manticore for more Tauroxes, definitely good. I mean, Manticores are good. Manticores killed a lot of shit. But being able to kill Chaff and Marines and Dark Reapers and all these kind of, you know, medium armor save things just with volume, like 60 Gatling shots and hot shot volleys at -2 rend was super useful. And those things, only 95 points, they're going up soon, but being able to still shoot on 4s when they move, so good. So the 3 Taurox primes were definitely very good in this tournament. And then the Shadow Sword did really not that much in the first game, but then Big Bertha earned her keep in the second and third game, killed 8 units I think for the day overall, including like 3 or 4 Predators, and the Storm Raven and a bunch of other things. Not to mention a firepower soak, like really soaked up a lot of firepower. Only died against Ron's list by about turn 3. Putting -1 to hit on it with the psychic power, and then giving it +1 save with the psychic power as well as the stratagem. Oh, it's hard to kill. And then on top of that, I used it a couple of times where I used stratagem that allows it to advance and charge, and it hits on a 2+. Hitting on 2+, 9 attacks, strength 9, -3 or -2, D3 damage each. That's scary. And you know, you can charge it. Doesn't tie it down. If you want to charge it, it overwatches you with a stratagem on 5s. So it's a great unit, and it went down in price. It's really good. And it's such a distraction. Even if it doesn't do very much, the rest of my army is strong enough to do stuff. Manticores were great, and you know what I would consider the MVP, my 3 Sentinels, my Heavy Flamer Scouting Sentinels. Like 2 out of 3 games denying deep strike by going up 9 inches, covering almost all the boards. On a Vanguard strike, I cover almost all the board. On the Spearhead Assault, I cover the whole board, and on Dawn of War, I can cover at least 3/4 of one side of the board. And that pushing all my opponent's deep strikers back into their own zone. So awesome. And you know what? Then they have to deal with those Sentinels, because the Sentinels are usually on an objective. I usually place my objectives, if I can, somewhere where they're going to scout onto. So they just sit there and hold an objective and deny deep strike. And then when you do deal with them, they're not hard to kill, but you got to devote some firepower to them. And people did, and that wastes their sort of a lot of firepower in the first couple of turns of their game. And then if they do end up trying to charge them or whatever, Heavy Flamer does some work. Killed a bunch of scouts, killed some infantry, trying to take it out, you know. So 50 something points, 53 points or something like that. So cheap for such area denial. I don't think you can beat them personally. So those were definitely the MVP, and it basically neutered Kevin's list in the third game and made Ron's Dropout Assault very easy to deal with. So I think the Sentinels were definitely a good part of the army. The Psykers did well. Astropath managed to keep that either -1 or +1 save on the Shadow Sword at almost all times, and the Psykers really did quite a lot of work with smites. And also kept the snipers busy. And you know, snipers are just not that good. 10 scouts didn't even kill 1 primary Psyker. Commander was good. Can't wait for the Sly Marble figure. That's going straight in as a company commander. If his own stats are not that good. If his data sheet is good, I'm going to use him, but if he's not, he's going in as a company commander. I also discovered, somebody told me that one of my conscript or infantry squad models is in fact an old metal slime marble, which is cool. I didn't even realize, I just thought it was another conscript. So so definitely the new model is definitely going in my army. It looks so awesome. Infantry did well. Plasma guns were useful. I don't think that useful. I mean, it's only 7 points, but 7 times 6, 30, you know, it's a decent 42 points on plasma guns. I may look at putting that somewhere else, because mainly they're there just for las power and area denial and objective holding and tying things up. Very good at tying things up. You tie it up with Dread Knight. Dread Knight can only kill 4 at a time, so tie it up. I have so many CP, I can auto pass anybody. So yeah, so I think that's definitely something to consider. Command scores did well. Command squads, 2 command squads with 4 plasma each with the reroll 1s. That's hardcore. Can almost kill anything guaranteed 1 turn, or at least disable it, and then they have to deal with them, or else they're going to kill something else. People have to remember about them, and they tend not to, especially if I don't put them in the first turn. And then they've gotten me line breaker and backfilled objectives on a couple of occasions. So the command squad's still good even after the point increase. So I don't think running more than 2. I don't know. We'll have to see. But very good units. And yeah, I found the second Tempestor Prime ended up just deep striking into my own lines to act as another commander, because I didn't need the second Tempestor dropping in with the command squads, because it can give 2 orders. But you need to take it to take 2 command squads. So that's what I found out doing, I would start it in space in order to just get my opponent to commit. So deployment, so what I've been doing is deployment. First of all, I put the 4 units, the 2 command squads and the 2 Tempestors up in space, so then it makes my opponent do 4 drops, which, whatever. And then I deploy the 3 sentinels, spaced out evenly on the front line, so that with a 9-inch scout move they can deny as much space as possible. So that again doesn't tell my opponent where I'm setting up. So that's 7 drops where they don't know where I'm going to set up my fire base. Obviously I'm going to set up a fire base, like that's my list. So if still they manage to make me commit first, then I just pick an objective in the backfield where I can park my Manticores, or as far as possible in a corner somewhere with Harker, and those are my next 3 drops. And then after that I just start placing heavy weapon squads within 6 inch of Harker, and then I just start placing infantry, and I leave a spot for my Shadow Sword somewhere. And the last thing I put down on my Taurox is where I think that their chaff is going to be, and by that time the chaff has gone down. Most people have finished deploying way before I get to my Tauroxes. So that's kind of my order of deployment, and seems to work pretty well and allows me what I need to do, and the Psykers kind of just stick around in the middle. So it worked pretty well overall. I'm super happy with my army list. Stratagems are awesome. I have so many command points, and getting them back and recycling and producing them off my opponents. It's just obnoxious, a little bit obnoxious with command points. I didn't run out of command points. I didn't even get less than 5 command points in any game. And I was spamming them. The +1 save when you're shooting something is so awesome on like the Shadow Sword, or even on I use them on the Manticores to give them a 2-up save. Really, really good. The assault stratagem is also useful, especially as your Shadow Sword starts going down in shooting efficacy. You just stop it shooting and push it forward, advance, charge, and you can still kill a lot in combat, or at least tie things up and become very difficult to deal with in your opponent's lines. This massive tank there, it limits their movement, everything gets tied up. It's really good. And then the other stratagem I used a lot was the Overwatch, actually. So people charging my Tauroxes are going to take Overwatch, 20 Gatling shots, 8 heavy hotshot volley shots on 5s. So really good at that. And yeah, so the stratagems were good, and I remembered to use them all. I didn't get to use any of my Chaos ones, but I remembered to use them all, which was great. I forgot to shoot my Manticores 2 turns in the first game. It is what it is. But overall, performed really well with this army. And got best general, so super happy with that. Obviously, in a 3-round tournament, it's so matchup dependent. If I played some other lists, maybe I wouldn't have done so well. You could say that about everybody, so I don't think that's really a thing. You know, everybody has matchups and good and bad matchups in this edition. That's just the way it is. And if you get good matchups, you win. If you get bad matchups, you lose. You know, there's not much to do about that. And so. Yeah, so thanks for everybody coming out to play. I was kind of like TOing, but not really. Chris did the majority of it, so thanks to him for dealing with that. And yeah, it was a really good day. So what's for this army in the future? Well, the Catachin Lucky 188 company is just going to finish the Toroxes because they weren't fully finished, and that was 4 Toroxes. Then I'm going to finish this one Cyclops because it's almost done. And then I think it's done. I still have a bunch of Forge World to put together, the Macarius Vulcans, another Earthshaker, stuff like that. But I need to do my Sepulchral Guard, and I need to get started on Nick's army. So I think the other parts of my Guard army are going to just wait for now until maybe towards the next tournament. And that really depends on what happens with the Dark Angels Codex. Because Dark Angels Codex is good, I'm going straight back to Dark Angels. So we'll have to see what happens over the next few weeks. But yeah, it was a good tournament. Thanks for watching.